Hi there friends, today we are designing a all over print hoodie inside of the Subliminator app and using all the cool little design tools that you get as a Subliminator user. So let's get into it and start designing. Alright, so starting with the Subliminator dashboard, obviously you're logged in here. Over on the left hand side you've got all your menu, so you need to go into the product catalog. This is filtered by sweatshirts, probably the last search I did, so you can turn that off and you can either browse through all of the products or you can select them over here. So we are just going to go for a hoodie. Okay, so I've selected hoodies there, and this one here looks great. Now if you need the design template, you can download it here inside all the product info, and there's plenty of information there. If you want to create, you just hit create. So choose the account you want it to go into. So this is a Shopify store I have connected, and this is just my actual Subliminator account, which is good if you are selling on another platform that Subliminator is not currently integrated with. You can just publish it to your Subliminator account, and then you can come in and make manual orders. So I'm just going to publish this to the Subliminator account so you can see, just to familiarize yourself, you've got all the layers at the bottom. Depending on how fast your internet speed is, sometimes working in an app, it may be slow. If you have problems with your internet, that's the biggest issue that we normally see when people say they're experiencing slow load times. But generally that's all related to your internet connection. So just try again later or reconnect. So getting onto the design. Now, if you've pre-designed stuff, then you just need to drop the image here, or you can click upload, find it, or you can find something from your library if you've added it in previously. Now, if you see here, the things that are loading are all different pieces of artwork that I have put in here already. All right, so I've found an image that I want to use, so I'm just going to select image, and you'll see that comes out here. It's quite big, so I want to actually make this scale it down a bit. So you can either do that here on the actual designer there, and over here you see on the left hand side I can just go up and down with a scale there. Alright, there's different settings here: align, rotate, opacity. You can change the opacity. Now firstly I want to get this right, and I want it to be quite big. I want it to sort of cover this whole front layer, but I don't want it to cover the waistband. Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all is, I'm happy with that. Now I want that on all the layers, so I'm going to come over here. You can see this is the layer here. I'm going to choose the duplicate layer, and I want to put that absolutely everywhere. Copy layer. Now if we go to the back side, sleeves, you'll see that's going to need adjusting on the sleeves, pocket, hood, and the label, which you wouldn't put that on the label. This is where you can upload just some artwork for your internal label, your inside label, which is generally on the inside of the waistband for the hoodie. So if we go here, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to move this across. This is the sleeves. All right, so this is your cuff and this is your actual sleeve. Now I want to keep it sort of the same scale, so I'm not going to drag it to make it bigger. I'm actually going to go here and I'm going to copy, and I just want to hit duplicate layer. All right, so now I've got that layer twice. And there we go. Move that across a bit. Okay, so make sure you're designing all the way to the outside, so you've got a safe zone here, which is where you want to put any wording or anything, and you want it to be safe from being cut off. Now I want to put something on the cuffs and the waistband. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is we're going to come over here. I'm going to add a background layer. All right, then the background layer, I want to make that a color. All right, so you would normally go into Photoshop or somewhere, try and use an ink dropper, get the right color code. I'm just going to do this based on what I think looks okay. Let's say if maybe we go something like that, might be similar to some of the colors on here, and done. Okay, so now what I want to do is I need to copy this color code, because I'm going to go and put this on the other layers. You can also save colors if you wish. You know, I haven't done any of that here, so we're just going to put that there. Yes, happy with that. Sleeves, all right, same deal. Background layer. There we go. Wasn't pasting that in properly. That's good. Pocket, we're going to come back to that in a moment. Now your hood, I'm going to drag that up so you can see here you've got, this is the outside and this is the inside. I just want to add that color to the inside. Done. All right, now pocket. Instead of doing another layer on top of the pocket, because it's never going to line up perfectly if you try and do that, what you need to do is come over to the right hand side. So we could actually even delete this layer. All right, so you see I deleted that layer. So this is the front pocket. I want to actually match it with the front design. So when the matching is on, essentially it's printed over the entire garment. Well, that's how it appears. Obviously the pocket is stitched on, so it's never going to be absolutely millimeter perfect, but it's very, very close. Matching off is if you want something contrasting. Okay, so it's going to be its own individual design. So we're going to match that on, and you can see it just drops that there. All right, and it actually brings in this orange here, which isn't printed on the pocket, fortunately. Okay, so now this is looking okay to me. I want to preview it, and in the preview, this is where you can choose your drawstrings. So I want black ones, and I think I like the flat ones. Okay, so you know that is looking pretty cool. You can see here the pocket there, the print just sort of goes seamlessly over the pocket. It'd be very hard to spot any little discrepancies there, so it's a great little feature. And you know, this view helps you sort of look at, well, is the scale right? Am I happy with that? Do I like this contrasting color? You know, a mock-up is never going to be absolutely perfect. So if you can think about how these products are made, this is all based on one size, and products are scaled up and down depending on the size your customer orders. But this is by far the best sort of 3D or the best realistic mock-ups that I've personally seen in my experience, you know, selling pod for many years. So if you're happy with it, you can always just go next step, or you can go back to edit and start changing things. All right, so I might say, well, actually I'm going to scale this down, and then I'm going to actually do a pattern maker. Now I'm not sure if this is a perfectly seamless pattern, but you'll soon see. Okay, so that looks quite good. So that's the pattern maker tool. So essentially, if you've got an image and you want to actually create an all over pattern, that pattern maker tool does that for you. But you do need what's called a seamless image, meaning that little square image that you've got is designed to be a repeating tiled pattern. Otherwise it will look funny, and you'll soon know if you've got something that isn't actually a seamless pattern. Once you tile that using the pattern maker tool, it's not going to look very good. So now the one thing with this tool here is that you can see it does it over the entire layer. So I've lost that contrasting band, but I think that looks pretty good. Now don't forget, if you want the sleeves to be the same size, the same scale, you need to go and change them on that layer. Okay, you can see the back side as well would need to be changed too, because it looks totally different to the front. Okay, so what I've done is I've just come back and I've changed this back to how I wanted it normally. So done all this, happy with that. But what we're going to do here is just do the labels. So like I said earlier, this will be printed on the inside of the waistband for the hoodie. Not all products have labels, and obviously different products have them placed in different areas. But I'm going to delete this. I'm just going to firstly add a background layer. Let's just make this that'll do. And then I want to just drop in, I'm just going to drop in the Subliminator logo here. Now you can see the scale of that is huge, so I'm going to come down here on the left. There we go, done. Okay, so if we preview that, you won't see the label on the preview. Again, just make sure these are black and they're flat. That's how I want it, but that's totally up to you. All right, so front and back, looking pretty good to me. Before we proceed forward, I'm going to show you one little feature that also is quite cool inside of the Subliminator editor, is the text layer. Now, this design probably doesn't lend itself to creating text. Okay, but just so you know how it works, football text settings. So you can also upload your own font. There is a selection of fonts already in here. Pretty easy to work. All right, I'm going to make it white. I want to make that text a little bigger. So you can see here, you've got the red dotted lines, which don't show up that well with this current design, but you can still see them clearly. And this is the front side. Okay. You can do special effects. All right. Got a double stroke there, which is kind of cool. Then you can choose your different stroke colors. Okay, so this is really cool for sports type designs. Different stroke colors. So you can see if we zoomed that up, you can see it's got the two stroke colors there. So really cool feature. Like I said, you can upload your own font, which a lot of you will probably do. There's also other things you can do, like a warp, so you can curve that. All right, and then you can change the angle of the arc, so you can see that. All right, so there's plenty there. Really nice little feature if your design lends itself to having text. This one, like I said, doesn't really, so I'm just going to delete that, and we're going to hit next step. So this is where we do our mockups. Now you can see along here, you can always click back to design template, but the process is design, mockups, description and size, pricing and shipping, and then you publish it. Now you can just go through and select whatever mockups you want. Up here also you can select JPEG or PNG. Now the PNG will create them all on a transparent background, which is handy because you can generate the mockups and then you can download them, and they'll be on a transparent background, so then you can put them on your own background. So you can see all of the mockups have generated. You can click on them if you want to view them in a bigger size. So you can see they look really cool. We've got heaps of mockups. You don't have to use them all on your store. I probably would recommend not using all of them. You don't want your users to be, your customers to be sort of skipping through a heap. But they're also good to download them. If you want to download them, just on the bottom right, you click download and it will download a zip file with all of these ones in there. But if you're happy with all of them, you can go to next step. This is where you do the description. So you give it a good name, something that's customized to the product, and this is your standard description, but I would always recommend people write something a little more creative. This is good technical sort of information that's handy to have, but I would always recommend you write something creative, something suitable to your niche. You want to sort of sell the sizzle a bit. So, how's it going to make your customers feel? Why should they buy this? What are the benefits for them? They're not buying it because it's got this amount of spandex and polyester, or it's got a kangaroo pocket. Obviously those things are great, the features are great, but what are the benefits? So that's something, a little marketing thing you need to learn about. It's important to be able to market yourself correctly rather than just present technical info. And then over here you can attach the size guide and have it in imperial or metric sizes, and you can see it looks like this. So very cool, all that stuff's done for you. Next step, we're going to go to pricing. Now, as you'll be aware, shipping is included in all of the pricing, and that's why certain areas are more expensive. Now, this is different to the shipping that you set up inside your Shopify store. If you want to charge people shipping, that's fine. You just work out what your strategy is going to be. But you can see here, if you're charging $27, you're not going to make any money. So something like $70, you can see what your profit margin is going to be for certain areas. You don't necessarily need to sell to the entire world either. So again, that's something that goes a little bit deeper into your whole Shopify marketing strategy. and you just need to certify that the images are yours to use. You can place the order on hold. So if you're doing, say, custom text or customized designs per order, you can do this, and so the order won't get pushed through to Subliminator until you take it off hold. So that means you can upload different customized artwork files and then take it off hold. So that's a great little feature. And yeah, you can have it published or unpublished. So from there, all you do is hit publish and you go, yes, I'm sure, and it gets added to your store. Congratulations, you have just done your first product. So thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and check out the rest of our videos on our channel.